On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is this an example of? I am telling every single one of you to stand up right now. I want every single one of you to stand up, and you have to because I'm your teacher. And you have to do what I tell you to. Good. What is it, Valentina? Compliance. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is it called when, if all of a sudden we saw everyone here at Plant start running out and cheering and screaming, and all of you are like, yes, and you all get up, and you just run out my door, what is happening? What is happening? What do we got, Ella? Group think. Ella, why is it group think?
Because like people aren't really making a decision, they're just like going with the group.
Yes, absolutely. Every single one of us has seen like a huge movement of people all of a sudden, a huge eruption of movement, and you're like, what's going on? And you just follow. What?
So like would like the civil rights movement, like that Martin Luther King, like,
No.
would that be like groupthink, or would that be?
No.
I just like
Group think would be racism.
No.
Civil rights movement would be, let's change that.
Wait, it could be though, because they all meet on the lawn, so people can just kind of like flow.
I
in.
think no.
It could very well
No.
be.
No.
It's kind of irrespective of what they're trying to do. You know what I mean?
I appreciate you trying to make direct eyes. We're going to call the civil rights movement a dutiful action by those who actually want to make a change. No. Yes.
Group think happens every day in class when we come out to you and say yas, right?
It has turned into a call. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good example.
On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is it called when I ask Maddie if she can help me move a couple boxes, move my boxes from here to there. Then she helps me. I'm like, oh my God, Maddie, since you're here, can you help me paint my entire room? Oh my God, thanks, girl. Good. Come on. Good. Jackson.
Foot and door technique.
Why is it foot and door, Jackson?
Because you asked for something smaller and something bigger.
Okay, and how many things are there?
Just two.
Just two. If it's two, it's foot and door. Okay? On your whiteboard, please tell me. Today you're going to go home and say, oh my God, Mom, I need a whale shirt. Everyone at Plant has a whale shirt. And if I don't get a whale shirt, then I'm going to be bullied and heckled. And people are going to call me a poor kid. And they're going to be mean to me. And it's just going to be the worst. Good. What is it? David, why? Perfectly said. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is it called when I asked Max if I can borrow his car for the next 3 months? And he's like, no. I was like, fine, Max, can you just drive me to school for the next couple of weeks? And he's like, fine. But he was like really cranky when he said, hell no. It was very rude. I would let you drive my Mini for 3 months. No, I wouldn't. Waited my whole life for that car. It is the only fit car I've ever wanted. I've wanted it for over 15 years. So, hell no, don't look at it. What is it? No, it's a Mini Cooper.
If you're offered a Ferrari versus the Mini Cooper.
I will take my Mini Cooper every day.
No way.
Why?
I love it.
But
I
you could
love
sell
it.
a
I
Ferrari, buy more
love it.
Mini Cooper.
I wanted it my whole life. Can we not
You
appreciate
can get
that?
4 of them if you get the Ferrari.
No.
You have a
Huh?
fleet.
I wanted it since I was like 14. Oh, because I had to order it. It takes about 3 months to get here from England once you order it. What is it, Elijah? Why? No. Why is the door in face? Something. What about the big thing, though? I knew I was going to get rejected, right? There you go. That's the big part of it. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is it called? What experiment teaches us conformity? That a guy knew something was wrong, but instead of trying to like fight the masses, he just kind of goes along with it because he doesn't want to be the only one. Maya. Ashes experiment. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is it called when, if you give me 5 cents, I will give you this rubber band and I will give you this lovely display of flowers for free.
I don't think you would give this to anyone for free.
No, not the jar.
Not the broken.
No,
It's broken.
no.
Look at it.
You're going to have to look at it. What is it? T. That's not all. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is it called when I ask Christina, hey, Christina, can you help me throw a dinner party? And she's like, oh my God, yes. Can I come? I'm like, of course. And when she shows up, I'm like, hey, Christina, can you help me out? She's like, of course. What do you need? I was like, well, can you deal with all the drinks? Can you cook all my food? And, oh, by the way, can you decorate? Oh, and everyone's going to be here in about 20 minutes. What is it? Ella.
Low ball.
Low ball. On your whiteboard, please tell me, what is it called when the police lights are behind you and you pull over to the side and you see the lights and you pull over as quick as you possibly can?
I was like, what if like you don't see the lights?
How do you not see the
I
lights?
mean, like, what if it's the daytime, you're not looking in like your mirror and you just don't see the lights?
You can hear it.
You can hear it.
I don't know, what if you're blasting music?
Well, then you're
It's still-
and you should be looking in your rearview mirror while you're driving.
I know, I do, but like I wonder if that ever happens to people.
It does happen, and you can get a ticket for evading arrest. What?
The siren, like the tone they use in the siren, is supposed to be like abrasive, so it catches your attention.
There you go. See? Look, all the fun facts we're learning today. All right, here we go. Take out your focus and study guide. Nice job. So today I'm going to teach you one of the big 5 experiments. Of course, we've already covered Pavlov, which was the big one. Today we're doing Milgram. Next week we're doing 2 of the big 5. This week we're only doing 1. And then after that, after this week and next week, we've pretty much covered all the big experiments, which is pretty exciting. So not too much. We have a bunch more experiments, but none of the big ones. So you absolutely need to understand what is happening in this experiment and being able to explain it from start to finish, top to bottom. Everyone's clear? So this experiment is done by Milgram. I started talking to you about it on Friday. He is a survivor of the Holocaust. Him and his parents immigrated here to the United States just before the war. All of his family was murdered over in Europe. So he wanted to know why common people could do such atrocities caused by World War II. So he created this experiment. Now this experiment cannot be replicated here in the United States. It is illegal. You cannot do it. However, you can do it in England, and I don't know why. So if you're talking about the stupid Milgram experiment Netflix thing, that was filmed and recorded in England. So England can do it. We can't here in the United States. Nico, what?
I'm just wondering, what week do we go to? So, what's like the
28.
20.
What? Jackson, did you have a question?
No, no.
Okay. All right, so this video is done sometime during the 2000s. It's on a TV show called The Heist. So they're going to make a couple of comments about The Heist. Ignore it. It has nothing to do with the Milgram experiment, but it is a really nice job of explaining what the Milgram experiment is. So, there we go. My last class enjoyed it. You will as well.
9 subjects left. I can only use 4 for the heist, so a week after the seminar, I arranged to test the limits of their responsiveness to authority. So, a week ago, I arranged for them to take part in what they now think is a piece of unfilmed academic research at a university, and nothing to do with the show, supposedly looking into the effects of punishment on learning. And they believe now that this is part of their growth. In fact, it was a reenactment of a powerful experiment conducted by Stanley Milgram in 1963 to look at how normal people can commit atrocious acts simply because they're following orders. Milgram's parents were Jewish refugees in World War II, and his pioneering work speaks volumes about the nature of responsibility. It's being filmed with covert cameras.
Thank you. Women.
They're introduced to an actor pretending to be another participant.
You didn't come from the same room?
No.
Yeah, you don't know each other. No. We don't actually know how punishment affects learning.
After a brief introduction, our subjects are tricked into thinking they've chosen their role as teachers in the experiment.
And if you could just tell me what your positions are.
Learner.
Learner and teacher.
Learner. Our subjects observe the learner being instructed by the scientist, who is just another actor.
This electrode is connected to a generator in the second room. Where might be going with the teacher?
Okay.
Just make sure that we have a good contact with the skin so it doesn't cause any blistering and burning. Is that comfortable?
That's okay.
Yeah, and we just place these straps around your arms just to avoid any excess movement. Those aren't too tight.
No, that's okay.
No. The teacher will read out some word pairs to you. Blue girl.
The learner is told he's going to be asked a series of memory questions by the teacher. He will have to word pairs and then correctly remember them when offered multiple choices.
If the answer is incorrect, you will receive an electric shock.
The teacher is then taken next door and shown the generator, which ranges from 15 volts all the way up to a lethal 450 volts. The domestic electricity supply in the UK is, of course, 240 volts. Our teachers are given the list of questions and told to increase the voltage each time the learner gets a question wrong. They are then given an example of a low voltage shock.
And try and estimate in volts the amount of shock you feel you're getting.
Okay. Oh, shit.
Do you know how much that was?
Enough.
75.
It was actually 45.
Oh my god.
Teacher, begin.
Okay. So, what is the point of the experiment? You can raise your hand and tell me what's the point of the experiment. Gabriel. Max, we're good with that. Absolutely. If people are willing to kill other people, okay, just by doing what they're told. It's authority. Who's actually being tested? The student or the teacher? The teacher. So, so we have an actor, of course. They made that very clear, and it's going to be the student and then the teacher. What is the teacher supposed to do? Who can explain what the teacher's supposed to do? Maya.
The teacher is supposed to read out a set of questions and the learner is supposed to memorize them, and then they're supposed to go electrocute them or like give them shocks every time they get a question wrong.
There you go. And it goes from 5 watts to 450. By the way, there's 250 watts in my wall right now. As a grown-up, it's going to shoot you back and maybe is going to mess up your hair. It shouldn't kill you. A little kid it can kill, but it shouldn't necessarily kill you. 300 watts will definitely kill you. 450 watts, there's no way in hell you're going to survive. You're absolutely dead. Okay? So, what they're trying to see is how many people are going to go to 450 watts. How many people do you think are going to make it all the way there? Maya?
Well, the first question is how many people are there?
Well, give me a percentage. Do you think 10%? Do you think 100%?
Well, 1 in 3.
1 in 3? So 33%? Okay. What do we got? What do you think? Sure.
Does the actor actually get shot?
No. The actor is never harmed. You can't hurt people. You can't kill them on purpose. Valentino?
I think 2/3.
You think 2/3? You think 60% are going to go all the way?
I think they unknowingly do it.
Unknowingly.
Because they think every time, to get to those volts, they have to be answering wrong, right? And if you die after 300, so they're like, oh, he's still alive after 300. So they just keep going up. I don't know.
Keep in mind, the test is to see how far people will go. Okay? So as we're watching, keep an eye on how high they go. 250 is going to hurt. If you put your finger in that light switch over, do not do that tonight, by the way. And be like, oh my god, Miss Benham was talking about it in class. Do not do it. But 300 can kill you. 250 is definitely going to hurt. So keep that in mind. Okay? So here we go.
Horn. Steam.
The point of this test is to see whether the teachers, our subjects, will call a stop to the experiments or continue to the point where they are administering seemingly lethal electric shocks to the victims simply because the scientist is telling them to.
That's correct. The next word is bicycle. The options tyre, race, helmet, shorts. That's incorrect, so there'll be 120 volts. I don't think I want to do this anymore.
If you could continue, please, teacher.
There is. No, I don't think I'm going to do anymore.
The experiment requires you to continue.
Yeah, even so, I don't think I'm going to do anymore.
Okay, so the guy said, I don't think I want to do this anymore. What did the guy in the white coat say? Who can raise their hand and tell me what the guy in the white coat said? Max.
The experiment requires his participation.
And the experiment requires you to continue. Please continue. Is that rude? No. He says, please. The experiment requires you to continue. Please continue. That is very polite, correct? It's telling you to please keep forward. Okay, so he's asking the guy to continue to give deadly, life-threatening things, correct? By saying the words, please. Okay? Would you kill someone if someone was like, Ella, will you please kill Max? No, you wouldn't. And that's the interesting thing of this component, is that he's simply saying please. Now, Ella, if I said I was going to kill your entire family and everyone you love, unless you kill Max, is that going to change your perspective on killing Max? Yes, the answer is yes. Yes. If you threatened my entire family, okay, and you were going to kill my entire family if I didn't kill one person that I don't really care about, no offense, Max. Then I'm going to protect my family. Same as you, correct? If you had to kill me to protect your entire family, you would do the same thing, correct? Is anyone threatening this man with violence?
No.
Is he being threatened with a gun? Is his family held hostage at the moment? The only thing he's being told, the experiment requires you to continue. Please continue. That's it. And it's important that you see that and you understand that. Because I think we can all agree if we're being held hostage, we have a gun pointed to our heads, we would do things a lot differently, correct? We would do things we normally wouldn't do in that type of situation. This man is not in that situation. And let's see how he handles it. Oh, I thought I got it, man. You know? A nice, fade away. That would have been great.
Correct.
According to plan, our accomplice provided many wrong answers. Each protest was coordinated to a particular shock voltage on the generator, and his responses were played via a CD.
That's wrong, 150 volts. The correct answer is Captain Shoe. Cup. That's wrong. 225 volts.
Lay it off! Got enough of this!
He's in a lot of pain.
Continue, please.
But he's not comfortable.
We must continue to the end of the experiment. The low lights will not he has to go on until he's learnt the words correctly.
Okay. Forest.
Being stressed about it. So you disagree with it. What is
That's
it
wrong,
that you do?
240 volts. Are you sure this is not causing any lasting damage? He sounds like he's in a lot of pain.
Well, the shots might be painful, they're not harmful.
What does that mean, though? They're not harmful. Sorry, I'm not getting you. When you say that they might be painful but not harmful,
They cause no long-term damage.
okay, so what does that mean? That it doesn't leave any scars?
It causes no damage.
That seems very cold and calculated to me. This doesn't seem like a very. Anyway, Golden.
Does he continue on?
Yeah, but the scientist said that it's not going to hurt it.
Yes, but does he see it on
That's
the
wrong,
thing?
mate. 300 volts.
And he knows what 45 felt like, remember?
You should just make it silent.
Staple. The options are diet,
Please make it like
jar,
that,
balcony.
so they know
bowl.
what they're doing.
Here we go. So.
If the learner doesn't answer in a reasonable time, say 4 to 5 seconds, then you have to treat the answer as wrong and follow that procedure.
Did you hear that, learner? Just any response, mate. Come on. Wild guess.
Please continue.
345 volts if you're still with me. I'm sorry. I can't do this, honestly. Can we stop this experiment? Because I can't do this. Listen,
If you don't continue, we'll have to
Still
discontinue the
administered
experiment.
enough to kill.
Yeah, okay, fine. That's fine. I'm not going to do this.
Incorrect. 405 volts.
Oh, you went. It's a long one, dude.
Okay. How is this affecting your teachers?
Sorry, I don't know. Does someone want to check on him or something? It's just he's not making any noise now, and he was before. And I'm quite happy to go on, but I'm just a bit worried about.
If you would continue.
Yeah, I'm just a bit worried because he was. Like, he was like complaining before about the.
But no harm will come to
But
him.
he's not making any noise now.
It's essential that we continue with the experiment.
Balcony.
He continues.
Incorrect. 450 volts.
Guys, remember, it's clearly labeled deadly shock.
You promise he's not. It won't.
Please continue with the procedure.
It hurts, but it's because it's like it says they're dangerous. It'll be alright. Yeah.
Please continue. Okay, I think we'll discontinue the experiment there.
All of the subjects were told the true nature of the experiment was to see how they would respond to authority, and that it would eventually form part of this show.
It is okay.
I can tell you, yeah, it's absolutely fine. You actually weren't administering electric shocks to the fall. As he is.
Guy thinks he killed.
In the original Milgram experiment, psychologists were asked to predict how many people would continue to the point that they were administering the highest shock on the board. Their prediction was 0.1%. They were wrong. The results of our experiment were almost identical to the original. Over 50% of participants continued up to 450 volts. The majority of people will administer lethal electric shocks just because a guy in a white coat is telling them to.
450 volts.
450 volts.
450 volts.
450.
So after the results of the Milgram experiment, I've now chosen my 4 subjects that will go forward for the heist.
70% of all people who take this will go to 350 before they say no more. Out of the 70 that make it to 350, 50% of those will go to 450. So, by the time 70% of all people say no, they've already killed someone. Who can summarize the Milgram experiment? What does it teach us? What does it teach us, Ella?
To see if normal people can commit atrocities.
Okay, yes, it does. But what did the experiment actually show us?
That people were willing to kill another person.
As long as what?
Someone was silent too. Like an authority.
So that tells us that 70% of you people are murderers. That you would easily kill. Not easily. Were they conflicted?
Yes.
Absolutely. Why do you think this experiment cannot be replicated? By the way, this is on your focus, by the way. This is number 4 on your focus you could be filling in. Why do you think you cannot replicate this here? T? Absolutely. That's a lot of stress if you're thinking you're killing someone, correct? However, of course, we know by 70%, not enough to stop. But it is a lot of stress, it's a lot of mental anxiety, and it's a lot of, in the original experiment, some guy almost had a heart attack. He had a heart attack, but he still hit the 440, so. Yeah, really keep up the fight, man. Okay, so, I mean, that's the thing, guys. I mean, when we talk about the Milgram experiment, you have to know that there is a learner and a teacher. Every time the learner gets an incorrect response, the teacher has to electrocute them, as in to teach them. The actual experiment is testing how far the teacher will go, knowing that the machine is clearly labeled until you get to 450 watts. We know that 70% of all people will administer deadly shocks. 50% will make it to 450. Yes.
Sorry. What were they like told? Like, why did the guy with the heart attack take it so seriously?
They all took it so seriously.
Why? Like,
Well, they're in a college setting. It's the same exact thing. They're in a college setting. They hear people screaming every time they hit a button. I mean, that whole situation. I mean, you're in a white room. There's a guy with a coat. You're talking about learner. You have the whole interaction. You know them. You hear them. Stuff like that. I mean, you would believe it too, I would think. Wouldn't
I
you?
mean, why would they live like? What would the people in the white coats like telling you to get connected?
Oh, it's the same exact parameters. The experiment requires you to continue. It's just that whole anxiety and that whole stress of following orders and committing these crimes, like killing someone. Wouldn't you be stressed killing someone?
No, not that. Like, why would they do it in the first place? Like, what did they?
Because his parents were executed. His family was executed in Germany. Why would they do it in the first place? You want to make $50 real quick?
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah, they're gonna pay. Yeah, hey, you want to do the Stanford prison experiment, which I'm teaching you next week? I mean, those people were offered $75 for 2 weeks.
That's terrible.
It's in the
That was
70s,
in the
so it was
70s.
good money. But
What actually happens?
for all of the psychological therapy they had to go through, they
Yeah, $75
definitely
would
not
cover
gonna
that.
work it. But yes.
I was just gonna say, like, a lot of it has to do with the way the mind interprets the situation. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Some people are going to take it more severely than others. And I mean, depending on age and all
And
that
if you're like
stuff.
an anarchist, you
Wait,
don't
so
respect
it's-
authority, so it's like you're not gonna do
Thank you, Max.
Did 75% like do it all the way to like killed someone, or did 75% like
70 are getting to 300, which would kill
70
someone.
of the 50, right? So 30 people. I guess.
35 are going to make it all the way to 450. Yeah.
That's just like
That's crazy.
just shocking to dead bodies.
Yes, it is. So, when you're talking about the Milgram experiment, it is important that you understand that the authority figure was asking and not demanding, correct? It shows us that normal people like you and I can kill someone just because simply, well, the guy told me to do it, I would do it. Isn't that unnerving? Because, I mean, think about it. Only 30% of us would really not do it. Would you be of the 30%? I really do believe I think I would. I really do think I would because I'm kind of a pain. And I don't do things I don't want to do, which drives my husband insane. I think I would protest. Because nothing about hurting other people. I mean, I joke about violence all the time. But, like, I would never actually hurt someone. I'm too much of a, like, ew, I'd have to touch them.
Well, it's not hurting them. Well,
It's what?
temporary
I'm down for psychological. Down for that. But actual physical, no thank you. Yes, Valentina.
The only thing that's like kind of contradicting is even though it said like, oh, this is deadly on the box, he was saying, oh yeah, that's less in protein. So like.
Well, because he's just trying to get them without saying, I'm going to kill your family and stuff like that, just by saying simple things, whether to do it. It just shows us that what happened in Germany can happen again with the Holocaust, correct? Normal people can do terrible atrocities. And it can happen anywhere in the world. It's not like Germany was brainwashed to be different than anyone else. It is literally anyone can be open to do it. Cool, right? So now when you're walking around the hallways, they would kill me, they would kill me, they would kill me, they would kill me, they would kill me. So, pretty cool. All right, obedience is, now keep in mind that Milgram's experiment is obedience. So in your box somewhere in the Milgram, I would write obedience. It's important that you're putting conformity with Ash and obedience with Milgram. That will definitely help you on your test on Thursday. So here we go. Social facilitation. Did we get to this? Okay, perfect. Social facilitation is when being in the presence of other people has a positive impact on a performance of an easy task. So I had a girl ask me, she's like, well, what does that mean, easy task? And I was like, anything that comes pretty natural to you. So she is a swimmer, so I would say swimming is an easy task for you. You've worked on it, you've been training your whole life for it, that's an easy task for you. So essentially, social facilitation for her would be, do you swim faster when you have a huge crowd cheering for you? And she's like, yeah, absolutely. I was like, there you go, social facilitation. So I asked her, have you ever done tightrope walking before? And she's like, absolutely not. And I was like, cool, that wouldn't be an easy task. I was like, could you imagine if for the first time you did tightrope walking, I would have the whole Plant High School student body cheering you on? I was like, would that help or hinder? She'd be like, that would be like the worst thing that could possibly occur. And I was like, there you go. So when we talk about an easy task, it's a task that you are capable of doing and have done and practiced many times. Do we see the difference between the two? Who here performs better when people are watching? When you have a large group? No one? No one. So you all live at home in a little hole like me and rather sit in privacy? Perfect, because that's who I am. Gabriel, you perform better in baseball games? With people watching? Does it matter if you have a big crowd or a little crowd?
I don't pay attention.
You're just in your own little world. Alright.
I don't hear it. You're supposed to shut it down. You guys end the game. I mean, half of them are cheering.
You're just such a joy, Elijah.
It's true.
Social loafing is the reason why I don't assign group work. Because the more people involved, the less each person does. That is social loafing. Okay? If I put 3 of the smartest, hardest working people in a group, do you all think they're going to come up with this major, super incredible project? Or do you think they're going to come, all of them are going to kind of slack off a little bit and come up with a good project? They're going to come up with a good project that's going to get them an A, but do you really think they're going to build a life-size Parthenon? No. No, they're not. Huh? That's true. But it would be a replica of the Parthenon. It's not the actual Parthenon, so it would be a life-size replica, wouldn't it? It couldn't be a Parthenon if there's already a Parthenon. Yeah, it would be a life-size replica. So, social loafing, sorry, go ahead. Social loafing is when you get together in a group and you do as minimum work as you possibly can. Can we agree? You just want to know what you have to do. How many of you have been in a group and you wanted to murder everyone in your group? Because they're useless and it's you the night before doing everything, correct? Huh? It would not be obedience because they would do exactly what you were told. Social loafing is what's happening next door. So they're building a building next door, and when I look out my window, because there's going to be a Publix there, and I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Right next door to my house.
Oh,
Like I'm literally
underneath.
literally supervising the building. Actually, Toby is supervising their building. He comes home from the walk. We get home at like 5:30 in the morning, and he eats his breakfast, and he just sits at the window and he just watches. And people like wave to him, like he's a thing.
Have you met Matt yet?
Who the hell is Matt?
The guy that runs that construction site?
No, why the hell would I meet Matt?
Because he's always down.
Why the hell would I meet Matt?
Because
I don't talk to people.
Yeah, but I've like
We just
seen
talked
you
about
around
social
before.
loafing. No, I don't do any of that.
Alright,
It's
Publix
not
in
that hard.
front, they can see the dog from the Publix.
It's awesome. You can see the dog.
Yell Toby,
That'd
yell
be so
Toby.
easy.
You start screaming Toby.
Anyway, so when I look out my window, by the way, the building is going to be like 30 stories tall.
Alright, bigger. It's big. 30 stories.
It's huge. Anyway, so when I look out my window, I can look onto like 5 different stories, and there's always like 3 guys grouped around, 1 guy doing work.
Find the 3 guys and the 1 guy doing work.
There you go. There you go. So that is social loafing. They got an assignment. 1 guy's doing the work. 3 are supervising, sitting around watching the guy do it. That is also social loafing as well, and it happens all the time. We could have a Publix tomorrow if there wasn't any social loafing going on outside. All right. How much time do I have? 3 minutes. Perfect. So attitudes. Here we go. Attitude is a tendency to respond positively or negatively toward a certain person, object, idea, or situation. On your whiteboard, here, I'll give you a second. Throw it in. You guys just don't get it. It's fine. Alright, on your whiteboard. Tell me something that you like or you love that other people find weird. What is something that you love or like that other people find weird? Like books? That makes you weird?
My friends don't read.
That's sad for them. Rain? Ugh.
Rain.
Lemon juice and salt drink? Gross.
What?
People don't find wrestling weird, do they? Oh, okay. Being alone? I love being alone. I love it. I love it. I love going to the movies by myself. It's so nice. I love it.
Why?
I love it because you don't have to deal with anything. You just go and you just sit there in your own little world. It's so
I feel like
nice.
movies are sometimes really awkward because you don't know if you're supposed to talk to your friend or like just like sit there.
Yeah, it's so weird. So I'd rather, and McCray won't go, so I've had to like step out of my own. So I love going to the movies. All right, give me something else. I got like 5 of them. Jackson, you are just so conforming that you don't have anything that you like that all of your friends have to like it too.
Psychology.
No one else likes it? Is that what you're trying to tell me? No one else likes my class?
Like you.
That's so sad.
We all like the class.
That's so sad. It's not me. Damn it. Alright, so attitude. You're going to give me thumbs up, thumbs down. 3-day weekends. Pickles.
Ooh.
Great. I've really gotten into this lately. This is what happens when you're old. Brussels sprouts. Those are so good.
Yeah.
I love Brussels sprouts. Roasted one with balsamic glaze.
Ooh.
Yes.
This is what happens when you're old. Let Justin Bieber. His new stuff's catchy. I don't care what you have to say about it. It's so damn catchy. All right, so attitudes. Every single one of us has them. It shapes how we see things. When we talk about attitude, they come in 3s. We have affect, behavior, and behavioral component and cognitive component. See ya. We'll pick that up tomorrow. Have a good day, guys.